a España. Bienvenidos al Summit. Por todos los equipos. What? English? Everyone here speaks Australian? That's awesome. Wow. Well, what I wanted to talk to you today about is what Scott mentioned, Atlassian's unique capability that we offer choice in deployment options, and we continue to invest in each one of them. So many of you here today are server customers, deploying our software on a single server. It's the original Atlassian deployment option. Our second deployment option, Data Center, came about because over half of you told us that Atlassian software was mission critical to your team's daily lives. With Data Center, you can run our products in your own environment, on your own hardware, in a cluster, on your choice of operating system, your choice of database, or even in private cloud. It's highly available as well as more scalable. You get to deploy it, configure it, and manage it the way you want. That's Data Center. Now, our third deployment option is cloud. And more you are choosing cloud offerings because you're adopting SaaS or cloud software as the default for how you run all applications for your teams. And the number of teams choosing the Atlassian cloud is not just growing, it's accelerating. But the number of customers for all of our deployment options is growing. And as that's happening, we're actually noticing that we're getting different feedback from each set of customers. For example, in server, customers are asking us for easier upgrades, which makes sense. But cloud customers aren't interested in upgrades, that's already taken care of for them. But for server customers, it's critical. And data center customers, who might have hundreds of teams or thousands of users spread around the world, they're gonna have very different needs, let's say, than a 25-person startup that might be located in a single office. And so from our data center customers, they're asking us to help find ways to reduce application latency for their geographically distributed teams. And cloud customers have their own specific needs. Many of them are asking for specific integrations to other cloud apps, like PagerDuty or Envision or Salesforce. So to address this, to respond to these different needs, you will see us prioritize features differently across our different deployment options. You'll often see features appear first in cloud, where we can deploy more frequently and move quickly. After some time, you'll see some of these features appear in server, but again, based on your priority as a customer, based on your feedback to us. But you'll also see some features appear first in server, again, depending on the priority that we hear from our server customers. This is a change from our one-size-fits-all approach of the past. We're going to pursue more of your specific priority given your needs and your deployment option of choice. And we can take advantage of specific technologies on each platform so we can deliver the solution in the best possible way. Different capabilities for each deployment option. It's better for everyone. Now let's go a little deeper into each of the deployment options. Server. How many of you here are Atlassian server customers? Hands up for server. Awesome. I started my Atlassian journey as a server customer as well. We've delivered a lot for our server customers in the last year. In fact, in the last 12 months, we've resolved over 18,000 votes for all server products. We've shipped improvements in every server product, from customized notifications in Jira Service Desk, to code search in Bitbucket, to real-time collaborative editing in Confluence. So many of them, I couldn't even fit a fifth of them on this screen. And those votes don't even include the new things that we're going to show you here at Summit, like programs. Over the last couple of years, Portfolio for Jira, we've really delivered a lot around planning. We've really invested heavily here so that your teams could create detailed plans for what they were trying to build. But many of you have been asking for more of an enterprise view of planning. You may have plans for your platform teams, plans for your mobile team, plans for your marketing team, and your web teams as well. And you want a consolidated view across your business. Well, I'm excited to announce Portfolio Programs. The programs gives you an aggregated view of your plans, so you get a full view of your business. And it's a key capability for enterprise portfolio management. Now, I mentioned upgrades before. We're also improving our installers for our server products. If you have difficulty upgrading our products, it means your teams can't get access to the new functionality that they need. And because of this, we've rebuilt the upgrade experience in Jira in 3 ways. First, we've put in more intelligence to prevent an upgrade from ever getting you into an inconsistent state. Next, we've actually provided more in-place troubleshooting, giving the admin actually the ability to resolve the issue that they're dealing with during the upgrade. And finally, we're providing you links to the troubleshooting guides in our knowledge bases and our facts so admins can quickly get unstuck and get their teams upgraded faster. Well, why do we choose these three specifics? Well, these improvements relate directly to 40% of the customer support cases that you've raised with us when you're asking for help during an upgrade. Easier upgrades, making it easier for you to keep your teams on the latest version, coming in the next version of Jira, and then Confluence is next. And Bamboo has expanded far beyond just continuous integration for Java. First, Bamboo now supports creating and storing build plans and configurations that were normally only accessible via the UI as code. So now allowing you to version your build plans right along with your source, for example, in Bitbucket. And there's a lot more in Bamboo 6.0, including out-of-the-box support for iOS and mobile builds for apps. Any Bamboo people in the house? Just out of curiosity? Awesome. And finally, in Jira Software, we've had Kanban boards for a while now. A lot of you probably use those for your teams that are more flow-based. But if you have a really long list of tasks in the to-do column, well, it can get really unwieldy. So we've added backlogs for Kanban in Jira Software. So your Kanban board can basically focus on the items that really matter to your team. Now, this is an example of something I just talked about earlier. A feature that we first shipped in cloud, we've refined it, and now we've brought it to server because of your feedback that it was important to you and that it was a priority for you. So there's a lot of great things coming your way in server because of your feedback. Now, how many of you would here say, if Atlassian apps go down, work stops in my team? If Atlassian apps are slow, work slows down in my team? Yeah, absolutely. Not a surprise, but some of you I would have thought maybe both hands, maybe a couple of feet might have gone up from the conversation. You can keep your feet on the ground. But seriously, the feedback we get time and time again is how mission critical our applications are. And you're actually why we created Atlassian Data Center. One of our customers, LinkedIn, they had a great way of saying it, which is, for many of our teams, Jira is their reality. It's what they live in all day long. The board is their view of the world. And their Jira instance gets over 2.5 million hits a day. All your software teams, all your IT teams, perhaps every team in your organization, they depend on Atlassian every single day. Now, many of you are global, and there's not a day or not an hour where Jira or Confluence or Bitbucket aren't being used by some teams. Even smaller organizations tell me we're in the top 5 most critical apps for their business. Now, in October, at US Summit, we talked about how Data Center is the solution where Atlassian is mission critical in your organization. And there were 4 main things that we were going to deliver in Data Center, and we've shipped every single one of them. For high availability, we shipped 0 downtime upgrades for Jira Software Data Center, so you don't have to spend your weekend doing upgrades anymore. For performance and scale, in December, we shipped our performance testing framework for Bitbucket Data Center. And our performance testing framework for Confluence Data Center is coming very soon. So you can test your data center environment at the scale that matches your user traffic, your load, your environment. And for additional performance for Bitbucket, we've made smart mirrors for Bitbucket even smarter. We sent them back to grad school, they got an advanced degree. These remote distributed mirrors for your Git repo, which make your local Git operations for your remote team much faster. They now support off-caching. And this actually means that your smart mirror is no longer dependent on your centralized infrastructure or network. And they now support remote build environments and distributed build environments. So your build server can get triggered exactly when your mirror is ready with the code. Now, to give you even more options where you can deploy Data Center, we created quick start guides and we created CloudFormation templates for Amazon Web Services. We shipped these for Jira Software and Bitbucket in September, then followed up with Jira Service Desk and recently with Confluence. So now you can deploy an auto-scaling cluster in Amazon Web Services for every Data Center product in just a matter of minutes. You can set up multiple clusters in minutes. It's pretty incredible. Now, I know a few of you are staring at the diagram. This is actually not how you get servers into private cloud. So don't rent balloons, you'll just lose your servers. Stick with the quick start guides, CloudFormation templates, that's the way to do it. We're also giving you more control of your data center environments by providing single sign-on via SAML for every single one of our data center applications. Recently, Confluence Data Center completed it, so SAML is now supported for every single data center application. Really exciting. And we're not done yet. Not only are we improving every single one of our existing data center products, but we're also adding more products to the family. If our CEO Mike can have some kids, so can data center. So we've announced a private beta for HipChat Data Center at US Summit. And given the success of that private beta, we're now opening it to everyone. So you can now try out HipChat Data Center in our public beta, and our GA launch is just around the corner. And one more new family member. We're not done, we have to outdo Mike. For many of you, your entire Atlassian infrastructure, you depend on Crowd. Now, Crowd is our identity management solution for authentication, authorization, and user management across the entire suite of Atlassian apps. So if Crowd isn't available, your users can't log in. So, of course, many of you asked us, please create Crowd Data Center, a highly available version of Crowd. I'm excited to announce it's in private beta today, and will be in public beta very shortly. Another new member of the Data Center family. So what we see is more customers are standardizing on Data Center. They're deploying every single one of our data center applications as the foundation of how they run software development, or DevOps, or collaboration in their organization. We're committed to Data Center, and you can run your business on Data Center. So in addition to having every major data center product available, we've made it possible to order this entire set of data center applications, as well as our set of dev tools and all the Atlassian add-ons in a single subscription. One line item, one annual bill. We call this the Atlassian Stack. It's just one more way we're trying to make it easier for you to standardize on Atlassian. And European customers like these, they've seen the difference when they've deployed Data Center. Higher availability, better performance, more flexibility in deployments, and more control of their infrastructure. Now, I've only gotten to scratch the surface here. If you'd like to know more about Data Center, Keisha, who's our head of product management, has got a session that starts just about half an hour after we end the keynote. So definitely check it out. Now, many of you here are actually headed in a very different direction with your infrastructure. You've embraced cloud applications, software as a service. You're running nothing on your own infrastructure. You're letting application vendors handle all of that for you. A big difference that we see for customers of cloud apps is that cloud teams, well, they expect automatic snap-in integrations that work with the rest of their tool chain. And you heard Michael talk about this with Trello. They expect and they have access to one-click, easy integrations. I mean, much like cloud deployments, customers expect cloud integrations to be simple, without complex configuration. And Scott talked about how Atlassian apps are often that center of teamwork. So integrations then become even more critical when we're at the center. Now, because of this, we've worked very closely with some key vendors to make sure that our Atlassian cloud integrations are even more powerful than they were before. That's no surprise, given our background in software development, that software integrations appear quite a bit in the marketplace. We've got a lot of them. Both the great set of existing add-ons and partners that we've had in the past, as well as a set of new integrations into cloud apps and services like Amazon's CodeStar. But now, as design and designers have become a lot more important to software teams and modern software development, we see a lot more demand for design integrations to the Atlassian cloud. And there's actually a whole new set of integrations for design tools with the Atlassian cloud for prototyping or for visual feedback. InVision is actually a super cool collaborative prototyping tool. That's a technical term. It allows you to pair a prototype with a Jira issue. So essentially, as the design and the prototype is changed by the design team, the story in Jira is always in sync. So your engineers always have the visual right in front of them as they're executing on the work, and the designers can always follow the work that the engineering team is doing. But of course, a lot of Atlassian integrations go beyond just software teams. Given that deployments in the cloud happen much more frequently, and happen very, very quickly, it's no surprise that ops becomes critical for our cloud customers. And since our tools are often fundamental to how IT ops or how DevOps teams work, we've seen a lot of integrations grow in the ops space around the Atlassian cloud. PagerDuty is a great example of this. They provide a great ops integration with HipChat, what we often call chat ops. So not only does PagerDuty post critical messages into your team's HipChat room, but it actually gives you a sidebar panel, so you can actually respond and react to incidents that occur. So you can actually report or even respond to incidents. But if you're all about the command line, guess what? You can also use text chat commands to respond to incidents or report new incidents as they arise as well. Pretty exciting. Now, beyond software and IT teams, we see all types of teams using the Atlassian cloud. And Trello, of course, is accelerating Atlassian's adoption in business teams. We see customers looking for integrations with tools that their customer-facing teams use. Customer support, sales, service, as well as internal teams like HR and finance. You can find more and more of these on the Atlassian marketplace. Workato is a great example here. They can automate almost any task you have across cloud apps. They provide recipes that are basically packed with all those difficult integration features behind the scenes so they can handle complex data transformations, data duplication, conditional triggers, actions, and you can use recipes for Salesforce, for Box, for SendGrid, you name it, they've got it. Here, you can actually see a really simple case. If you want to integrate Salesforce and Jira, all you need is a simple trigger and some actions. Your teamwork now extends through the Atlassian apps to the rest of your business. And the total number of cloud add-ons has nearly doubled over the last year. There are now 700 cloud add-ons and integrations in the Atlassian marketplace. So I would say a special thanks to these 30 key vendors who created these new integrations just in the last 6 months. So please join me in giving them a round of applause to thank them for all the hard work. Really great. So your team can now extend their work to other apps like it could be. And the Atlassian cloud is connecting you and your team to the rest of the world. So that's a quick update on server, data center, and cloud. You can choose the deployment option that works for you. It's a unique aspect of our model. And we continue to support your ability to migrate between deployment options as your choices or your infrastructure preferences evolve. And while I only had time to cover a few aspects of what you do in each particular deployment option, I want to emphasize that regardless of your deployment option, we continue to invest and continue to improve each one of them in a way that reflects your priorities. I'm looking forward to catching up with a lot of you in the next couple of days. Cheers, and please enjoy Summit.